Well, had a good Wednesday practice today. We obviously are taking off tomorrow. We're going to have a walkthrough in the morning. 3 really good days this week. Today was kind of a mix of a Tuesday and a Wednesday because we had a bonus day in there, and really good preparation. By no means is the week over in terms of the preparation. We got a really good walkthrough set up for tomorrow and then a practice on Friday. But really like where their minds are, and they had really good focus today. So we just got to continue to tighten some things up, but I know the guys are excited to get ready and play.
Has Ross risen to the role this week in his first week as starter? Have you kind of noticed him?
Yeah, to be honest, Ross has done a good job all of camp, and I really didn't see I think maybe internally he feels a little bit of something, but we don't want him to be anything different.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be the best Ross he can be, and but I think he had a really good week of practice, and excited to get him out there.
When you look at North Carolina's offense, I was just talking with Tui, and you talked earlier this week about not wanting to chase ghosts. How have you been able to sort of focus on, all right, let's just take care of this box of things and not worry about what else they may throw at us?
There's certain schematics in football that carry over from team to team. Whether they're a zone running team or a gap running team, whether what personnel groups they operate out of. Are they a gun team? Do they use the quarterback in the run game? What kind of passing game concepts do they use? So you see a lot of, throughout your season, you'll see a lot of kind of combinations of those, but there is a fair amount of carryover. So it's our job through our preparation and spring and fall camp that we have a menu to kind of play those different types of schemes or personnel groupings. So that's what we've prepared for.
Are there any particular strengths or commonalities that you can say between 1 or 2 or 3 of the quarterbacks that they're going to throw at you? Like, well, they all have big arms, but they're not great in the mid-range. Anything to that degree?
I think they're all talented players in their own way. So I think obviously they're all capable of playing well, and we know that whoever plays for them is going to be a good player.
When it comes, they're replacing a ton of production, obviously, and does that make you focus on, hey, let's focus on just our defense being as fundamental as possible going forward?
I think you do that no matter what. I mean, every week you're preparing for the opponent because of whatever the matchups are, the schemes they use, or kind of the personnel groupings, like I said. But they're a really good football team, and even though you mentioned they're replacing some production, they've got really good. They've recruited well. They got good players. They got good coaches. So, we have to be concerned with what we can control, and that's ourselves, and how well we can play. And so that's what the preparation's about.
Has the fastball period always been a part of practices that you've had, or has it been more geared towards, hey, they're going to try to get the ball off every 17 seconds?
Yeah, we've done that in different ways, shapes, or forms, a lot of places. Yeah.
What's your biggest concern from their offense? What is the biggest threat you think that they pose?
Well, I mean, if you just look at their history, they've always been very good on offense. They play with pace, and they'll run the quarterback. They give you some challenges in the run-pass option game. They got tight ends, they got backs, they got good players in space. So they're just a really good offense. Offensive line's very physical. So we know it'll be a really good challenge for us, and I know our guys are excited for that.
As far as the trip down, and there's been the talk about the early start, the 3 time zones, the weather. Are you concerned about any of that, or do you feel like the guys are ready to do this?
We just talked about once this week is we're not changing the time of the game or the location or what the weather is. We're not going to let that be an issue. So we've prepared for the time change. We've in different ways. Our conditioning, our hydration, how we take care of our bodies to prepare for, the weather is what it is. I mean, that's how it's going to be for both teams. So we're much more concerned with our preparation and getting ready to play a really talented team.
Obviously, you want to win. Outside of a win, though, what do you want to see from your guys? What would be a successful game?
Winning would be a successful game, but just how we operate. Being a smart team, being a tough team, playing together, and how we respond to the adversity that's going to show up. And no matter what game you're playing in, there's always going to be some adversity during the game, and how how we respond to that adversity. So I think our guys are excited to play. I really do. I think they've had a really good camp, and I'm excited to get them out there and cut them loose. And so
They're putting in a new field tomorrow, I think, they're supposed to be putting in a new grass field at their stadium tomorrow. And last year, at least, we saw when they put in a new field in Australia, it slipped and there were divots and it was uneven. Is that a concern at all for you guys?
No.
All right.
We're bringing cleats. So. Bringing cleats. Yeah.
That's smart.
All right.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. All right.